So you would say that employers are looking for more culturally sensitive or culturally aware persons as assets to their companies?
Right. Even right now, if you don't think about overseas or international markets, just within the company itself, diversity is an issue. It's something that needs to be addressed. We have more and more people coming from different backgrounds within the United States. They have African American backgrounds, they have white American backgrounds, they have Hispanic American backgrounds, Asian American backgrounds, and women and men, different ages, and different lifestyles. How do you bring out their strengths to work together as a team, rather than seeing all the differences and thinking about all the difficulties of working together? So how do you manage a team like that and really utilize those diversity in terms of their viewpoints, in terms of their skills, and also in terms of their knowledge to build up or to work for the products that is best for the company? That is also important.
What kind of jobs can I get that pertain to international communication?
One is actually, if you're interested in nonprofit organizations, that's always something that will, intercultural communication or knowledge and skills will be a plus. Because right now, a lot of the nonprofit organizations, they are now dealing with not only domestic, but also international cases. So that's one, a lot, or in the private organizations, and whether it's PR, and it will be nice to have some intercultural sensitivity as well, because you do have to. It really depends on your market target. Also, some people like to be independent consultant. They want to be an organizational consultant, so they can help the organizations to work on their leadership, their problem solving abilities, or decision making abilities, or decision making processes. And they can add one more to their tools, is that they can teach people about diversity. They can teach people about intercultural training, or people who are going to the overseas, they can give them training as well. So there are people who are doing it just intercultural communication itself. But for anybody who wants to go into organizations or doing organizational communication type of job, then it will be nice to have that on their toolbox as well.
You are from Taiwan, correct?
Yes.
How long have you been in the United States?
13 years.
13 years. What made you want to come?
Well, for the first reason is that my two brothers were already here before I came over here. So that's like a family tradition, I guess, is that they came over here to study for their doctoral degrees, and that's kind of natural for me to come over here as well. And the other reason is we all know that America is one of the most powerful countries in the world, and it has the most advanced knowledge and opportunity to do research. And so that's another reason why I want to come over here. And the other one is just wanting to see what's going on outside of my country. And America seems to be the most natural choice, given that we started to learn English when we were 10. I think it's 10 or 12 years old. So we already have that language on our belt, even though in terms of speaking it's not that good, but in terms of reading or understanding, then that seems to be the natural choice.
Would you recommend students to study in Taiwan if the opportunity arose?
Of course, why not? It's my home country. I like to introduce my country to other people. People are in Taiwan. They are very, very friendly. They're very nice, and they are very hospitable. So when you go there, even if you get lost, people will try their best to tell you how to get to places. They invite you to if you go to the south, more countryside, people invite you to go to their home and have a cup of tea with them. In general, they are pretty nice to other people, and we have food is delicious. Our food is, we are famous with our food, and we have a lot of night markets that has all different kinds of food. And also Taipei is a very interesting city. It has a lot of cultural activities, and it's a very modern city. So you can do all kinds of things 24 hours a day. And the only thing that I always tell my students is that weather is not, you might not want to visit Taiwan in the summertime because it's just very humid. People from the United States may not be used to the humidity down there. It's like 70 or 80% on average. So you could be like sweating like in 2 hours. But we have air conditioning everywhere. But it's just people are not used to it, to the humidity. And the foods, sometimes they don't really know what's in there. So they're a little bit cautious about that. But I think it's a drastic difference between Taiwan and United States in many aspects. But you still get to see very Americanized stores and places, department stores, and food and things that you can get pretty easily. So it's not like you're going to the place where you cannot see anything from America. But it's a good mix of cultures down there. So definitely go. Got to learn many languages though.
Yes, that's key. That's important.
Yeah.
And one last question.
Okay.
What do you think a communication student in particular could gain from a study abroad experience?
Communication, it's about trying to express your own ideas and understand other people's ideas and be able to take other people's perspectives and try to come to a mutual understanding. Intercultural communication talks about perspective taking. It teaches you how to incorporate and how to open up your mind and see different ideas. See people bringing their very different backgrounds and into communication environment and try to come to a consensus, at least come to a place where they can live with each other peacefully. And of course, that's the ultimate goal for intercultural communication, is that you get to see, appreciate their culture, and they get to appreciate yours, and you get to keep your own identity, they get to keep their own identity. And I think to be able to develop that communication skill and that kind of attitude, it's important for any communication students. You take gender communication to understand women's perspective, men's perspectives, and how you communicate with the opposite sex in a more constructive way. It's the same thing with intercultural communication. So it's a very practical, it's a very applied, real experience. If we say that in a personal communication is communication between two people, and then intercultural communication, it's just an extreme case of interpersonal communication where you have people coming from very, very different backgrounds. So if you are able to manage intercultural communication, then that should somehow help you with your interpersonal communication in general. That's what I think.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the interview.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Yeah.